So we talked about before the value of good information, right? Being able to get accurate results, to be able to not only know from a historical standpoint how the company has been doing, but what's current and use that information to project forward. And a lot of times the question comes up is, well, how do I get that information, right? What's good information? What's bad information? Josh, tell me what I need to focus on, right? Because I think I know what I need to focus on, but maybe I'm not looking at things correctly. Maybe the systems I have in place are not pulling the information that I need. Doesn't mean that it's not there, but maybe it's not the right information that I need. So when I get that question, a lot of times we go back to the system and say, what is your ERP capable of? And maybe you're not using it to the best of your abilities. So if I could, Danny, why don't you speak to what some of the benefits of a good integrated, right? So integrated meaning the systems all speak to each other, right? And maybe you could go into a little bit more about what that means and what needs to be integrated so that a client or a company can get the best information to make the best decisions.
That's a very good point, Josh, because integration means having the forecasting, the purchasing, the warehouse management, the financial, all part of the same system. Because if you have multiple software, the user have to play hopscotch, jumping from one software to another to find information. You have integration issue with the data is corrupted, and that creates a bigger issue. Another issue is keeping track of your landed cost, which fluctuates by the day. So when you receive your inventory in the warehouse, you have to know what would it actually cost you. The maritime, the freight, the tracking, etc. Because each shipment will have a different cost to it. Another issue is because we are in short supply term, which we experience in the supermarket, empty shelves, you have to know what to order. You cannot order everything. So you must know what is your fast moving items are, because those items you want to order. Second issue is who do you buy it from? When just in time was available, the cost was a major issue. Drop it to the warehouse, drop it to the customer, give me the best price. Today, the story is completely different. When can I get the inventory? And then the second issue is how much it's going to cost. Because if you don't get your inventory in time, two things will happen. Your production line will get disrupted, like Toyota, Ford, Chrysler, and you ship your order to the major store, Amazon, Walmart. Either they will reject your order, or if they accept your order, they penalize you, fancy word, chargeback. You build 100 grand, you get paid 80 grand. So the integration is a very important issue. The second is the analytic. 30,000 foot analytic. What is my fast moving item? Who should I ship it to? I have X amount of item I need to ship. How do I allocate it to each customer? You cannot allocate your inventory to the big customers only and forget the small ones, because then it's a JC Penney story. If you lose the big client, you're out of business or your business suffers. It's a very, very fine balance deciding who will get what at what quantity. Second issue is shipping it. What's the best way to ship it? Because the shipping costs become very expensive. So if you have multiple warehouses, you need to check which warehouse is the closer to the client to be shipped to save on the shipping cost. And all those factors come to one thing, lowering your operating cost. Because with the way things run today, cost become a major factor.
So just to take that a step further, on the automation part of it, so what the warehouse management system does is provide the intelligence for us on my side when we put in the automation. Without the intelligence, The automation, we could have the fastest system in the world, but if we don't have the intelligence to know what we're doing with it, it doesn't give you the return on investment. So if you want to maximize your return on investment, you need to do both. You need to build the architecture of the ERP, the WMS, and then build in automation in your warehouse.
Another factor is in the warehouse, you have to know the truck capacity. How much can you load on one truck? If you need 3 trucks, the system will tell you where to load it, and it tells you the first stop, it should be in the front, the inventory, the last stop, it should be at the back. And then it routes the truck like a map quest to get best fuel efficiency.
So when I think about what you're saying, Danny, right? So if I'm a business owner, I certainly hear the benefits, right, as to what having a good ERP system does. I've got to weigh the cost benefit, right? Because obviously there's a cost associated with implementing such powerful software. I know in your days, Danny, you've worked with a lot of clients. What are some of the benefits financially that they've received from implementing a system like this?
They will achieve 2 factors. Factor number 1, it's a world of M&A world now. People buy, manufacturer buy their supplier, and a distributor buy the manufacturer. So we have here a case study of a company that grew from $400 million to $1 billion doing M&As. And that enabled them to absorb the companies, transfer the data over, and have one ERP software controlling all the companies. So what that translates to, if a company is in Wisconsin and a second company is Ohio, you can ship for either warehouse because one have the inventory, one does not have the inventory. It depends where the shipping coming from. And with the common carrier, now you can do it. Another factor is Black River with the produce. Produce have no barcode, and it's polished very quickly. So they are using a headset, a voice pick up 1,000 tomatoes, 500 cucumbers. And it's a quick turnaround shipping it. And a third one is Atom Manufacturing, where they save $100,000 by boosting the productivity. That's a very important factor today, having a hand on your product productivity so you don't trip over each other. And a sophisticated warehouse management with the equipment that John has, so they pick it up the right way and knowing what to pick up, it's a major factor in today's reality.